Hello and welcome. Hopefully you're hearing music. I'm not sure if it's working properly or not. But let's face it, the music is not the most important part. I'll just talk as if there's no music to make sure there's some sound, because no sound on the air apparently is a very bad thing, and I'm just posting the socials to let people know about this review coming up. And the Discord as well. And it's all going out. Okay. Well, let's get started without further ado then. Welcome to this daily NFT market health analysis with me, Daniel Tenner, aka Swombat, where we're going to look at what the hell is going on in the market from a perspective of data rather than just vibes. And in these times where things are flying all over the place, the data can be useful, although it can also be sometimes sometimes the message from the data can just be, well, you're gonna have to wait a little bit to find out really what happens. And I have to say that's probably going to be kind of the message right now, in case you just haven't paid attention at all. Maybe you've just woken up and you haven't had a chance, and you've just been living under a rock for the last week and you didn't really know what was going on in the NFT market. What happened yesterday in the middle of the night for the UK was the other side launched by Yuga Labs, which, well, let's just say it had some issues. Swallowed up about $100 million of gas, was a really inefficient contract, poorly written, which could easily have been optimized. Many developers have pointed out ways that it could have been better that were really easy wins, which I've written a whole thread about what I think that means about the market, so I suggest you read that thread. I'm not going to go and repeat it now, but essentially I think it's another piece of evidence or another marker along the road towards real utility NFT projects, which I like that road. I like being on that road. So yeah, I mean, that's in my thread. But looking at what's actually going on with the market. Well, yesterday we said there were three possible scenarios. One was we were here and we were saying one was it just continues as normal, nothing changes at all. That was scenario one. Scenario two had kind of three sub scenarios. Basically, it started with a rise, and then there was a scenario, I can't remember which order I put them. I think scenario A was rise and then a massive collapse, and then we sort of like changed the trend of the market. Scenario two was a rise, and then we kind of maybe have a collapse, but basically essentially return to this uptrend. And scenario three was a rise, and then we kind of stay up here. We're clearly in scenario two at this moment, but we don't know which one of the sub scenarios we are in. This morning when I woke up, I thought maybe we were in scenario three actually, which was a drop, which when looking at these other indices and what happened to them, I mean, that's kind of the first graph that I saw, and I thought, first thing I thought was, oh, my charting is broken. And then I thought, no, wait a minute. I saw some tweets about how the gas was like, 5,000 or something. So maybe that's why. And I saw that this was still getting volume. So I assumed that this is actually correct. And it's just it's just that both of those indices have had severe reductions in their volumes, whilst the top 10 haven't been impacted quite as much by the incredibly high gas. So anyway, we're still in that, we're not in the scenario three. The sort of the world hasn't ended. We're not just going straight into collapse after all this lovely climb that we've had for these weeks, and we don't know how high this thing is going to go. So if we look at the bar charts, we can see that this is still going to some extent. And if we keep getting, even if we get a kind of exponential decrease like this, if we get like bars like this, that's still going to be a substantial increase. Like the health index is still going to continue rising. And my hope is that if we look at the slightly longer term vision there, is that it rises higher than what it got to ApeCoin. Although obviously the higher it rises, the more it's going to collapse. But basically, if it doesn't go as high as that, then there's also the possibility that we start to see this trend. So that's why I'm hoping for something a bit higher. From a purely technical standpoint, really. But anyway, if we look at the bar charts, we see here that there was a little bit of a decrease in activity here. In fact, in projects other than Yuga, there was definitely a decrease there, but it rebounded very strongly here. We can see that Zeneca New had, I mean, look, this is all that was left of Zeneca New in that 4-hour period. Similarly, the women-led projects cratered completely. And even Zeneca Old, I mean, basically it was just supported by the fact that that Yuga Labs projects are included in here. Otherwise, the volume here was also abysmally low. So there's been a strong rebound. That strong rebound is most of the volume being tracked here. There's a little bit of rebound in Zeneca New. There is no rebound whatsoever in the women-led projects. We can see there's still quite a high concentration in Yuga Labs projects. So the dark brown is Macy, the light beige there at the bottom is Basie. I think that brown is something else though. Let me just double check. I drag the legend on. What's that? Hold on. Hold on. What color is it? It's a kind of beige. It's Cool Cats. So Cool Cats is getting a bit of action. Bored Ape Kennel Club, Clone X, Azuki as well, like little bits, like not as much as they had in the past, but still like seeing some action. So it's still very concentrated in Yuga Labs, which is not great. But at least it's rebounding. And there's also here in the Zeneca Ore, there's some other projects that are not Yuga Labs that are also pumping. So we're seeing some activity, but we still haven't confirmed that overspill hypothesis that we've been talking about all this time recently. Sorry, I need to recover my brush. Oh. And oops. Sorry about that. Having some technical issues there. Need to recenter this. Right. So we're still yeah, we're we still haven't seen that overspill hypothesis being confirmed. The idea that first the volume starts here, then it spreads here, then it spreads here, then it spreads here. At the moment, I mean, there is a little bit of overspill here, and we've seen that for a few days now, that there's been some of that. So this one is sort of confirmed, this one not, and this one not. So we'll see. The data will show it. I mean, I can have hypotheses, but I don't know if they're true or not. They were true. That was true in the last bull market, but it might not be true in this one. And we'll see this in the data. So looking at this, once again, I'll say that, you know, if we revert back to this trend and we stay, even if we stay around this level, this is a really good level that we were at. If we just stay around this level, that would be really good, especially if it's not all concentrated in Yuga Labs, which I can't imagine it would stay always concentrated in Yuga Labs, especially after the events of last night. I think people will be looking to diversify a little bit rather than bet everything on a company that couldn't optimize their gas contract. So we're definitely still in this kind of bullish pattern here. We've got maybe a kind of other channel setting up here, but like again, this thing is not finished. It might rise quite a lot higher, so we'll see where it goes. The trend that I have my eye on is more like, you know, this one. That's what I want to see us revert to, like some one of these kind of lines, basically some kind of line that's going up like this at a still quite rapid but steady pace. Or even I'd be happy if we sort of return to this level and then go sideways from here, because this is a good level of volume for the top 10 to be operating at. If we look at Zeneca Old, as we said, so there, interestingly, we're still inside. I mean, obviously, again, this is still going to go up higher, so it probably will break outside. But it's remarkable just how clean that sort of 45-degree, more like, you know, that's equal isosceles triangle here with the same angle on both sides is. And we're just oscillating maybe until we reach that point. We'll see what happens there. I'm curious. I'm as curious as you to figure out what's going to happen to that index. Just to even see how the pattern unfolds. As for Zeneca New and the women-led projects, because of this massive drop that was not caused by anything to do with the sort of the projects themselves, the index is going to be a little bit screwed up for the next day. but within a day it should recover. I imagine it's going to recover to here, or if we see the spillover hypothesis being confirmed, maybe it will start to go up. That would be the best, or maybe it will even recover much above and continue like this. So let's see in a day where, like, you know, these indices are not very useful right now because of this drop due to the gas hitting thousands of Gwei. I'm gonna take off my scarf because I'm a bit hot. Too hot today for scarves. That's it for these charts. Let's have a quick look at crypto, which actually is quite interesting today in that it has come out of the channel. Or this is the channel that I drew, whatever arbitrary channel I drew there. Interestingly, it came out of the channel, if we look at this, it came out around midnight. So it just at the close of business, and then it sort of recovered quite rapidly afterwards. So maybe it's a little bit hesitant as to whether it's really come out or not, but we're seeing it hold that line as resistance now, maybe. So I don't know, I'm still expecting that if we've now broken down out of that channel, this is the line that's holding, and at some point people are gonna panic and sell, expecting it to be the downside for the next while. So probably not great news for crypto. So long as the drop is steady rather than rapid, it's actually not too bad for NFTs. What we want to avoid is like massive drops, like a market capitulation where everybody gets scared. Like if it goes down to 30k suddenly, that would not be great news for the NFT market. If you have any questions, as usual, ask them in the chat. I'm going to move on to our project review of the day. Unless questions come up. I think somebody had posted some questions actually on, but posting the questions on Twitter, like I saw some questions on Twitter, but they're really hard. So like, just to give you a sense, like this is my Twitter mentions. There's like my Twitter responses. There's so much stuff here. Even if I look at the mentions, and I'm really going to do my best. I need to refresh this to see the latest ones. No, it's not even showing me my latest mentions. Twitter is not letting me see that. So that's the interface that I have to deal with to like, you know, keep track of things. Twitter is really awful for this. It's great for what's happening right now. It's not great for keeping track of things. So if you want to ask me questions, please go in the Discord and ask them, or join the live stream and ask them here, and I'll be happy to answer them. But I can't really keep track, like especially once I post one of these threads, it's just so much stuff that comes up. Like I just get swamped. I tried last time to answer every message. This time I'm still going to try a bit later, but I'm going to try to do it all in one go instead of trying to do it throughout the day because it took me so long last time. But there was somebody who posted some questions here. I just can't find them. Yeah. So I don't know where the questions were. So instead we're going to go for the review. So we're reviewing Los Muertos NFT. As usual, huge disclaimer, this is not a fair review of the project. This is cold review. I'm just having my first look at this project. I haven't researched it. I haven't talked to the founders. I'm probably missing some information. Yesterday in the Psychedelics Anonymous review, we saw that there was actually some really important information that I was missing, which I only got because there were some people from Psychedelics Anonymous on the live stream, and they pointed me to it. In fairness, that information was hidden underneath a submenu in 3/4 of the way down, a multi-page update, and that was the information I was looking for. So it's not unfair that I couldn't find it, but it does show that just because I don't find the information doesn't mean it's not there. And so this is, in a sense, more of a insight into how I approach the project and a review of the website effectively and of the presentation of the project, rather than a review, like a fair review of the project as a whole. So do your own research, maybe ask people, like, you know, point them to the video and say, like, you know, this is what Daniel got, but is there something that he didn't get? Like, can you point me to the stuff? So that's the kind of review I'm doing, and it's anyway only my opinion. There's plenty of projects that people think are great that I don't want to invest in. That doesn't make those projects bad. It just means they're not the right investment for me. So looking at the website, welcome to our world. Okay, so I still don't know anything. Again, like I keep on saying, I would like the strapline of the website to tell me something about why I should buy it. Welcome to our world tells me nothing. I like the art. It looks pretty cool. It's like, yeah, I actually really do like the art. But I don't tend to buy these things for the art, so it's not entirely relevant. Los Muertos is more than your standard NFT project. Well, in what way? By owning an NFT in the Los Muertos collection, you become a Muerto. Well, that is exactly what every NFT project sells. You buy an NFT in the project, and you become part of the project. So this is a waste of space, this paragraph. Los Muertos world is built to serve its members, unlike all the other projects which are built to annoy their members. We are a highly experienced team with wildly ambitious goals, unlike all the other teams who have entirely unambitious goals. We're upcoming digital artists, we're Web3 nerds, we are community builders, we are Muertos. Like, this is such a missed opportunity for me. They've literally said nothing here. I've learned absolutely zero about the project. I'm now like, a whole page, and this is a high-res screen, and I'm a whole page down the project, and I still know nothing about it other than that the art looks nice. If there is some kind of utility here, it would be nice to talk about it. If there's some kind of reason, even if it's not utility, even if it's not what I call real utility, if there is a reason to own this project, talk about it. Like, don't make me guess. There's a team. Generally not... Okay, this one is clickable. Founder and social media. Joined January 2022, so undoxed, presumably. To me, that's never a good sign. Oops. Let's go back here. No, back again. So the founder is undoxed. These two don't even have social media links. Twisted, Dactyl. Are any of these guys doxed? Joined April 2020. This one is probably doxed. But I think it's better if you have a profile, if you put it forward, if you have a reason for people to believe in you. Otherwise, why put the team as the next thing? Like, I've still learned nothing. I was expecting at least the team would be a reason to buy the project, but right now the team is not a reason to buy the project. Rarity. Okay, this is totally standard across all NFT projects, so that means nothing. Ownership. You own your NFT in full. Blah blah blah. Okay. So you grant a license. It's not technically you own it, but you own a license to use it anyway. Well, for personal and commercial use, the Macy model and stuff. Okay, so they have a bunch of partnerships with other projects like Wonder Pals, Got a Cat Gang. Okay, I still don't know why I want to buy this project. How can I? Okay, another one of those waste of space FAQs. Like, all right, future plans. Maybe that's a kind of roadmap. You can view in our Discord the roadmap. I assume there's nothing else on the website. No, there's nothing else on the website. So as a website, I would rate this very low. This is really poor salesmanship. Like, I've read the entire website. I don't know why I should buy this, other than they're like every single NFT project out there. And they point me to some kind of NFT world, which I'm not going to play now on stream. Let's have a look at the Discord and see if there's something worthwhile here, because I haven't found anything useful really on the website. And I really wish I did, but I feel it's fair to evaluate it in the way that I have. Right. So let's complete. Does anybody ever read these? I don't have any assets. Okay, so it's a closed Discord. Well, all right. So this was a quick review. I was hoping for something a bit more interesting. I think there was a tweet, somebody tweeted me about Los Muertos as well, so maybe I'll have a look at that, see if I get some information from that, which hasn't percolated through to the website. Where was it? And I used the Los Muertos that they tweeted me as the screenshot thing. Okay, so this team delivers in any market, 2 times other side, 30 times NFT world and staked, planted 20,000 real trees, monthly ETH lottery to holders, built-in P2E gaming, amazing community and dev. Read where are the Medium articles? So somebody's chatting in the chat there, Derek Bosley, which I guess might be associated with the project. Project owns 30 NFT worlds with our own world built on one with play to earn gaming already launched within 2 weeks of mint. There's 10k allocated monthly, allotted monthly for P2E, 30k a month for Los Muertos holders in a lottery, and 10k a month for social presence. Medium link above. Above, man. It's not on the website. I don't see the Medium link there. Maybe it's on OpenSea. No. Well, I'm not seeing a link in this chat, so maybe YouTube is filtering the links. Okay. Well, let me search. I'm really doing my best to give this a fair shot. Medium Los Muertos. Maybe. Okay, there's a Los Muertos here. Right. This is presumably the Inception one, which is going to maybe talk about what they're trying to do. Okay. So here's a bit more information, which I wish was on the website. I don't know why I need to go and look for a Medium link that's not linked on the website when I'm trying to find this. There's no way to find this because it's not on the Discord either, because the Discord is gated. So, a sustainable, self-sufficient ecosystem which provides seamless rewards for holders. No. Reinvestment. Well, yes, as in like a project should be investing all its money into building value for holders. I mean, that's my perspective. I agree that this is not a sustainable model, sure. But again, what is different about Los Muertos? So it sounds like maybe Los Muertos is a way to buy NFT worlds. Okay, let's try Discord some more. Somebody else is saying that I have to do the... So, okay, so there's this one as well. Sorry. Type out the traced colored... God, I hate those things. Okay, well, at least I'm in. All right, okay, so there's more stuff here. But let me continue reviewing the blog post here. So it sounds to me like what they're doing is buying some NFT worlds. So using the mint money to buy some NFT worlds and collecting play-to-earn revenues from NFT worlds and using one of them to create a play-to-earn game of some sort and basically building the value of Los Muertos on top of NFT worlds. With both the lottery, some kind of rewards for activity and community building, and some kind of play-to-earn gaming. We have tested it thoroughly, streamed gameplay, blah, blah, blah. And so my thinking about... Like I suppose like one way to look at this is, which is actually a valid model, is if you can't afford to buy NFT worlds, but you want to be exposed to NFT worlds, then maybe Los Muertos is a good way to do this. So long as they're clear and transparent and honest about how they distribute the revenue from NFT worlds, then you're getting probably a good chunk of the revenue in some sort of way. Without actually having to pay the 10 ETH plus, because right now Los Muertos is at about 0.29 ETH, while NFT Worlds is currently at 7.8 ETH. So you can get some exposure to NFT Worlds without actually buying NFT Worlds, and you might get also the other benefits like a community and so on, which can be worth something to some people. It depends on the community, which obviously I'm not going to have the scope to evaluate that live on a call. I'm not super keen on play to earn gaming, as people know. So the P2E aspect is not like, for me, that's just another redistributive game, which works in this context because the project seems to exist as a redistributive mechanism to distribute the rewards of world tokens. The weakness of this project, I would say, based on what I know so far, is that it all rides on whether NFT World succeeds. So that's fine. That there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, so long as you're aware of the fact that you're basically betting on NFT Worlds and Los Muertos, which if NFT Worlds does well, Los Muertos will probably do well as well. And if NFT Worlds does badly, there's not a lot that Los Muertos can do with this model unless they adjust their model to be something else. But if they spent $1.2 million buying NFT Worlds already, they're probably quite committed to this model. That's not necessarily a wrong thing. I would suggest, one thing I would suggest to Los Muertos, because I have talked to some people who are looking at doing some kind of like investment, collective investment scheme for Metaverse Land. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Metaverse Land, but I can see that there's obviously passive income opportunities in existence there, and the price of those things might rise. And those people were basically in like trying to create some kind of scheme where people would buy the NFTs and they would use the funds to invest in multiple lands. So they'd own Sandbox, Decentraland, NFT World, probably Other Side, and whatever else NFT land comes up. And that way you'd kind of buy their NFT to gain exposure to the NFT land market as a whole. This is very concentrated on NFT Worlds, which means that NFT Worlds does really well, it's going to go really well. But if it turns out that it's not NFT Worlds that does well, but Decentraland or Sandbox and the others, and there's a kind of winner-takes-all type of space, then this project would sink with it. But that's probably going to take a while. Let's have a quick look at the Discord, see if I find other stuff here. Announcements. Is there a roadmap? Not seeing a roadmap. Revolution announcements. Medium articles for Revolution. I think that's the one I'm looking at. No? Yeah. Revolution upcoming. Official links. Okay. So, I feel like I've got the general gist of it. Obviously, Derek, if you feel like I've missed something important, please do point me to it. But it feels like, so thanks for pointing me to the Medium post. That really helped. So yeah, it seems like an investment scheme into NFT worlds with some kind of wrapper around it, like a P2E game, lotteries, and so on. But the core of it is basically the NFT worlds investment and the world token generation. And if that works well, this project will do well. And if that doesn't work very well, the project won't do well. And the rest is kind of noise in comparison to that. Now, I wish from a website review point of view, I wish that was clear on here. Maybe there's legal reasons why they're not going to mention that. But I feel like, the website could be clear that, hey, we believe in NFT worlds, we want to invest in NFT worlds, but NFT worlds is very expensive. If you want to invest in NFT worlds without being able to afford the whole NFT world, come join us and make profits from NFT worlds by joining our community. That might be the pitch. I mean, that is effectively the pitch as I understand it at the moment, even though it's not stated on the page there. Personally, because I'm not a huge fan of either play to earn or metaverse, I wouldn't invest in that. But plenty of people believe that metaverse and like in NFT worlds and that kind of stuff is the future, and they might well be right. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to go and argue against that. I mean, I have in the thread, but I don't know that I'm right. I just know that I have my opinions, and that informs my investment thesis. Cool. If there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll put on the... I'm curious if you actually heard the music. I'm not seeing it playing here actually, so probably you didn't, because it doesn't look like there is actually music playing. Oh yeah, there is now. I don't know if you can hear the music. But yeah, if there's any questions that come in the next 30 seconds or so, I'll happily do my best to answer them. If not, then we'll probably draw this to a close. So thank you very much for watching. What else to say? Have a read at my thread. Have a read of my thread about the other sides. It should be quite. It's not on swombat.io yet, but if you go on Twitter/Swombat, you'll find it fairly high near the top. This one is a must read apparently. So please do have a read if you want, and please do retweet it if you could. I appreciate that. And yeah, I guess there are no more questions. So thank you very much for dialing in. Thanks for your attention. I hope this review was useful. Again, a reminder that it's not a fair review. It's just my impressions of the project and of the website and so on. I hope it's useful to you as an investor and to the project maybe as a project trying to improve their communications. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another live stream, where tomorrow I think we'll be reviewing. By the way, if you want to influence what we'll be reviewing, join the Discord, Swombat Cave. It's linked in the description of this video. And the project reviews vote. So we've done 3 of these. And yeah, I need to put up the poll for these ones. Might even review all 4 of them because they're all quite interesting. But yeah, come and submit which projects you want me to review on the Discord. That's the way to get me to review projects. So thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely remainder of your weekend. And yeah, enjoy your life. Take care. Bye.